feminine divine card. So the feminine divine card that I picked was of a saint from the 17th century who is the warrior saint who ended up fighting for her Sikh religion, which I thought was very interesting. Is Maja Baja. And then I ended up picking up a card from my sister, and it ended up being the same card. So go figure, we're two very different people, but we ended up picking the same divine card. And it really made me think. I did take pause. I did this December 31st. It kind of made me take pause. I'm like, a warrior saint? Jeez. Reading about her, she defended her village, and they defended the guru, and they were outnumbered, but then they won. But all of her people that she had fight for her all died except her. And then she was appointed the guard for the guru. It really made me take pause. And then when I saw what was happening on Wednesday, I thought, wow, that's quite a calling on a year when this ends up happening. And for many years, I have been working on all of us gaining is inner circular centered strength. And maybe it's just a culmination of all that work over all these years. I think I've been teaching yoga now for 18 years, which seems like an unbelievable amount of time. And I was wondering whether, so I invite you to look at that within yourself. We're the warrior saint within you. And however that translates to you individually, because as I know from the power of the universe, each of us have a different course to play out into this field, into the universe, into what needs to happen, what are we grounding, questioning what we're grounding. Does it align with our highest interest, our highest good, the highest good of the planet? And I'm calling all of you to do the same in whatever way that means for you. And then I, as a community, I just want to share this wonderful energy of support for whatever that is calling for you individually. But I do believe that this is not a time to remain silent in any way, shape, or form. However that translates again to you, and for those that are, happen to catch into this video at this moment in time, I extend that out to you as well. The warrior nature within us, and not being silent, and however that translates to you. And as a community, both a yoga community, a community of people who are looking to ground this, like we were born at a specific time and we are wisdom warriors. We're older women or older people at this moment in time, grounding our years of wisdom into the earth. And I looked at that, and my tears on those days of watching that insurrection was for my grandchildren. That right now they're 13 and 11, they are very well aware of what's going on, and I cried for them. I said to them, I'm so sorry you have to see this. And I don't want to hand this world over. I don't want to hand that world over to them. So now my mother nature and my warrior nature are lifted and engaged and awakened in a different way. So that's me personally. I call for you to say and do whatever is calling to you, because I know you know the right thing to do. So index finger and thumb together in Chi Mudra. Let your sits bones find its way into the earth. Your elbow just rest easefully underneath the head of the arm bone as we find your core, taking the breath all the way down into the belly, and with a grounded hips and legs, lift up through the spine. All the way up through the spine. Your chin be parallel to the floor so that the weight of your head is balanced on your neck and then on your spine, so you really feel the strength of your spine, strength of your core, grounding of the earth and hips and sits bones and legs. And then breathe into that opening. Let's keep creating open space. Let's not close our space down. We're holding space for light. We're holding space for justice. We're holding space for truth. Just allow yourself to breathe deep inhales, at least 4 counts in, with the same amount of exhale out. Recognize that the exhale out, you're releasing toxins, you're releasing energy that you don't need at this moment in time. And we bring in more energy, more of the nourishment, the prana, the nutrients, right into the deepest part, our belly. Just allow your mind to stay with the breath, to stay with the rhythm of the inhale and exhale. To come to that center, that peacefulness within. Bring the breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. And you want to hold at the very top of the inhale. Have a space, create an open space. It's important that we allow for this open space. We need this open space, especially now. And then exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. Then with your next exhale, whenever that happens for you, allow your chin to come down to the chest as you breathe into the opening of the neck and the upper part of the back. If you feel some tension there, just bring your breath to that space. I always feel it, of course, on my right side, my dominant side. Kind of breathing in. And then releasing your hands, bringing them to either side of your hips. You're going to inhale the arms all the way up into the seated sun breath. You're going to turn the palms and exhale with your fingertips down and chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. 2 more times, palms roll all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head, then down to the heart as you close your eyes for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. Just settle into your own convictions this day. Settle into your sense of truth and action. Krishna said to Arjuna, you must go into the battle in the Gita. You cannot sit on the sidelines. We ask for a centered space that we ground what is ours to ground at this time and space. And then releasing your hands and opening up your eyes. Let's come into a standing pose. Let your feet be hip width apart. We're just going to create a circle going in one direction. Engage your belly and begin to lift up from the perineum to the top of the head. So that your legs are free. Bend your knees so that they are just soft, letting the hips move. And then the opposite direction. Good. Go to the first direction again. Nice deep breath. And then the second side. Good. Coming back to center. Come into Tadasana, the mountain pose, with feet parallel to one another. Hands open to receive. Let your knees be soft. Let's receive the energy of this moment. Receive the winter sun. Receive the little moon in the morning light. Receive the energy of Venus. Receive the energy of the Christmas star. Receive the energy of our own heart. Receive it in. Honor your uniqueness. Feel your power. Do not let anyone take your power from you. So receive this energy and now open up your eyes. Let your arms reach all the way up into Tadasana, mountain pose. Standing Tadasana, then exhale and fold. Shins go forward, thighs back, head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up, going from Tadasana to Uttanasana, exhale and fold. Again, shins forward, thighs back, head down, arms reach out to the side as we inhale all the way up, and then exhale and fold. Once again, head down towards the floor. Bend your knees generously. Top of the thighs back. Inhale halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Now just notice here, very easy to get your bottom tips of the rib cage to go down. That's where I break. I break all my poses right there. I'm going to bring the bottom tips of the rib cage up so I can feel my whole spine stronger and longer. Nice deep breath. Arms reach out to the side as we inhale all the way back up. This time we're going to exhale and fold. Bring the right leg back into the runner stretch. You're going to come up. Left hands onto the left knee. Take the top of the right thigh back and breathe. You don't have to go deep. You don't have to go high as early in the class. Just monitor where you feel strong. Engage the belly. Arms reach all the way up. Nice deep breath. And then release. Hands on either side of your foot. Come back with the right foot. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way up as we inhale back to a standing Tadasana. The nice deep breath, mountain pose. Exhale and fold. Shins forward, thighs back. This time it's the left foot back into the runner stretch. Again, don't have to go deep. Take the top of the left thigh back this time. Hands onto your hips. Arms reach all the way up. Now adjust a little bit. See if you can press the back heel a little bit more. Maybe lift up from your core all the way up to the fingers. Breathing deeply and then release, come all the way back. Left foot up to meet the right, head down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way back up. Clasp your hands. In fact, not clasp your hands. Let your left hand hold on to your right wrist. Feet parallel to one another, soft knees. Don't let your knees take this energy. Want the energy to be moving all the way up. Locked knees is going to stop it right there. So soft, strong feet. Exhale over to the left. And breathe in. Just nice, deep breath. Good. Release. Come all the way back. Switch your hands. So now your right hand is holding on to the left arm, left wrist, and stretch. Get a little more here. Engage a little more of your belly. Good. Ground and then stretch. So beauty of yoga. Something is grounded, something is stretching. Release, come all the way back just one more time. Left hand onto the right wrist. And breathe. Good. Release, come all the way back. Right hand onto the left wrist. And breathe. Nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back. You're going to feel the reverse flow of blood in your arms. You may feel some tingling. Let the head of the elbow move up and around. Just enjoy the release. Coming all the way back and then from the back to the front. Good. And then shake it out. Okay, the left foot is coming forward, right foot back. Of course, we've got to do warriors here. Right? Bend into the left knee. Move the foot. So we want strong. Then we've got to work strong. You've got to work from the inside out. Press into the foot to straighten the knee. You want to really control how the knee is working. You don't want to snap it. Exhale, bend. Press into the foot and inhale up. Good. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale up. Seems like a very small action, but I can move into a sweat doing this. Exhale, bend. Arms go out into the T position and look over your left arm. And we're going to ask for our centering. So in this pose, you are asked to stay in your center, quieted mind, world swirling. Nice deep breath. And in the universal world, you have to ask for what you want. For me, I am thankful for a quiet mind, a clear mind, and an open heart. I am thankful for. Right arm down, left arm up, into reverse warrior. Come all the way back to Virendrasana 2. Nothing on the bottom has changed, just on the top. Left elbow onto the knee, take the right arm down and around so your head of the arm bone is in the right place to move into Parsvakonasana. And breathe. Add your left arm up with a nice deep breath. Come back to Virendrasana 2. Completing the circle. Good. Then hands onto your hips. Just turn your feet right where you are. Bending into the right knee. Good. Starting with just pumping the energy. Press into the foot. Straighten the knee using the muscles. And then exhale and bend. It's all about listening. Make sure that your left knee is strong and the energy is in your foot, not breaking at the knee. So the knee has to be soft and allow the energy to move. Then exhale, bend into the right knee. Arms go out into the T position. Let your gaze go over your right hand. And again, we're asking and thanking the universe for both a clear mind, an open heart. Then let your left arm down, right arm up, breathing in. Come all the way back to Virendrasana 2. Let your right elbow come onto the knee, left arm comes all the way down, up and around into Parsvakonasana. Make sure that your feet are grounding the energy. You feel the four corners of the feet rooting down into the earth, and then add your right arm up. So it's a core connected to the power of the feet, from the core all the way up to the fingers. And let the right hand reach as much as the left. Good. Then release back to Virabhadrasana 2. Windmill the arms all the way down. So you're stepping back to downward dog. And you might notice that I'm actually in downward dog and not dolphin today. Left broken arm is doing very well. And pump. One heel up, one heel down. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down. Good. Then bend into the knees. And from here, just notice, as I always have, my back and bending. I want to take the bottom tips of the rib cage up. So now I feel with my core, I'm connecting to my back body. Nice deep breath. Let your head be in line with your spine. Don't let your head, which is 12 pounds, drop down. Let it be up so you're strengthening your neck and the connection of the upper part of the back as well. So, bend into the knees and hop forward into Uttanasana or walk. Whatever works for you. Exhale, head down towards the floor. Arms way down to the side as we inhale all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head. And then down to the heart. All right. So let's take the block. Bringing the block between your knees. Hugging in. Utkatasana. You're going to move sideways. Let me see if this is better. Move sideways. Bend into the knees. Take the top of the thighs back. And I have to kind of open the top of the thighs back. I have to use my core to do that. Taking a nice deep breath. And as I bring my arms up, my bottom tips of the rib cage want to come forward. And I need to just bring that bottom tip in slightly. Feel more of the power. Into Utkatasana. Nice deep breath. Then release and come all the way back up. Good. Take the block out. Shake your legs. Good. Then open into a wide angle. Into Pasarana Padottanasana. I'm going to put the block back into the center. Good. Make sure your knees are not locking. All right, so I'm going to do this sideways because you might be able to see it a little better this way. So we're going to come parallel to the floor. I don't want your hips to go back here. This is an assault on the back of your knees. Forward. Now this is harder to keep with the toe mounds falling onto the four corners of the toe mounds really hugging in. Now create a sway back. I want you to create a sway back so that you are letting your rib cage go down. Strong feet, but letting your rib cage go down. So then I want you to feel the itty bitty little movement that it takes when you bring the rib cage back up. I don't know if you can see that in me. You bring the bottom tips of the rib cage back up and lengthen through the spine. What that feels like in your body. Okay, so we begin to recognize when the middle part of our body is creating a disconnect. So you want to lift, bring the bottom tips of the rib cage in, and then lift that energy through your spine so the top of your head is feeling it right down to your toes. Nice deep breath. Now bring your left hand onto the block, right hand onto your hips. Keep that relationship. Rotate the torso. Left thigh back. Don't add the arm. Keep your arm down. That's another issue. Bring the right shoulder up and around, and concentrate more on your shoulder opening and your left hip staying stable. Everybody can extend a little bit more through your head. Good. Nice deep breath. Release. Come all the way back down. Left hand onto the hip, right hand onto the block. Rotate the torso. I don't want any distractions. I want you to keep your right thigh back. Feel your rib cage in, rotating. Keep your head of the arm bone, left head of the arm bone up and back. Feel the twist through your body. Good. Now keep extending it. Don't let your head collapse. Yeah, release and come all the way back to center and then all the way back up. With a nice deep breath and shake that out. All right, so I want to work a little bit on opening and strengthening the legs. You can use the wall if that makes sense to you. You can do it just open here, hand onto the wall if that's where you want to go. I want to take the right leg up. At the same time, take the top of the thigh back. So here, it's not about getting your foot way up and then just kind of letting your hip come forward. It's about getting the top of the thigh back, elongating up through the spine, not here. Let me do this with here. Not here, but here. Lifting up, toes sunny side up, hugging in, breathing. Good. Maybe taking the left arm up if you're on the wall, seeing if you can find your base, but you're hugging into the midline in the same way that we did with the block with Utkatasana. Yeah. If there's any question about your balance, go to the wall. So Gina, go to the wall if you can. Get yourself a little higher. There you go. Good. All right, release, come all the way down and shake that out. And to the other side. The minute I start to bring my leg up, I'm hugging into the midline. So it's not just about the leg coming up as much as connecting to the core, making sure that my rib cage is in so that my spine is long. And that's part of what helps keep the pose balanced, is making those connections. Good. Make it easy for yourself, Mary Lou. Go on the other side. So, yeah, there you go. All right, your left hand. Okay, good. You're using your right hand. All righty. Good. Nice deep breath. And come all the way back in. All right, so we did that with the tie. This time I want you to hold on to the wall. And I want you to hold on to your foot. So you may be that this is where you're going to stay. With a nice deep breath. I want you to feel your knee going back behind you. Might be that you are ready to extend your foot. And if not, just hold here. And maybe pulse it a little bit. Just see whether we can begin to open up the hip to be able to do the extension and still stay in alignment. Good. Now here, we have the foot in. Bring the foot all the way in to Vrikasana, the tree pose. Right arm up. Maybe the left arm goes up as well. Taking a nice deep breath, engage your core, hugging into the midline like you're just like a tree, hugging the bark into the center. Taking a nice deep breath, breathe into it. Make sure that you're feeling that center from your foot, inside of your foot, all the way up to your hands. Good, then release and come all the way back down. Other side. So we're just going to start by pulsing the knee up, hand on the inside of your foot. Modify how you will. You can always use your tie. Always use your tie. I'm holding on to the outside of my foot because I want shins in. I want this part of my knee, my shin, to hug in. So if I hold the outside of the foot, I'm encouraging more of that. Then maybe straightening, maybe adding the arm up, finding the balance. But a lot of it has to do with the outside of your foot, your shin, hugging that center line. Good, now from here, bring your left foot in. Holding, standing on the right. Coming into Vrikasana, the tree pose. There's no greater strength than to find the parts of your body, all the different parts of your body coming together in union. For me, it's that midline. Engaging the core, using the parts of my body, my legs, to influence the upper part of my back or extending through the head. We're not meant to do this alone. We're meant to do it in community. Same with the body. The body needs to be in community as well. And the more we trust the body to do that, the more we begin to expand. And part of that is a spiritual experience. Come all the way onto the floor now. Good. I want to do some deep twists. We'll start with Baddha Konasana, letting the knees flutter. And again, bringing the knees up. And then thinking about from the knee down to the hips. And as you're doing that, lifting up through the spine a little more. Hold on to my ankles, lifting up. Then you can begin to play a little bit with your knees coming up. Take from your knee down, top of the thigh, back. And that will help your lower back open as well. Just stretch. Nice deep breath, just taking the knees, fluttering the knees up. It may be that you feel like you need to be here and explore that shift of bringing the energy into the hips a little bit more. That may be part of where your winter practice is going this year, 2021. Nice deep breath. But you want to be able to feel that opening. Good. And then release. All right, so bringing your left foot in, right foot up. And we're going to pulse again the knee back. Just pulse it back. Nice deep breath. Good. See if you can do this without rounding. You want to feel where your body is beginning to crack. You always want to feel like your body is sharing the breath from the top of the head to the foot. Where is it not going? Where is it pulling? Where is it not moving? And then lift your leg up. You can hold on to your calf. You don't need your thigh here. Your calf or your hamstrings. If you can hold on to your foot, then hold on to the foot. This is where I practice getting the energy to hug in. Shins in, so I'm not in balance here, right? Shins in, thighs down. It is the same as what we did on the wall just the other few minutes ago. Pranjasana, we're going to take your left hand across onto the right hand onto the floor. I've been using this block. I think I'm stuck using this block from this point on. I'm telling you, I love this block. Pressing down, lifting up, rotating. This is part of my winter practice, is block and twisting. Nice deep breath. And again, you can hold on to the bottom part of your leg, whatever, the shin, the calf, whatever works for you. If you've got the outside of your foot, great. Hug in. Shins in, bring it all the way down, rotate. Good, then release and come all the way back to center. Let's come back to the Baddha Konasana and just flutter, or again, just kind of feel that energy of your top of the knees going right into your hips. And then just pulse your torso forward slightly. I'm talking about little movements here. I'm not talking about big. Just let your body open slowly. And then bring your knees back. Bring your right knee in, your right foot in this time. Left knee comes up. I hold on to my foot initially because I want the power of my arm to help my knee go back. Again, community. The community of using your body to open. And I can guarantee you that if your hips are open, lower back are open, your shoulders are going to feel a lot better. It's all connected. Good. Now we're going to press the legs straight up, and you can hold on. Where's my block? Where's my block on the other side? There we go. Lift all the way up. Nice deep breath. Again, holding on to whatever works for you, but to get that sensation of the lift of the energy moving down into your hips, lifting up through the spine. Cross your right hand onto somewhere on your left leg. I have my left block right here, left hand onto the block, and then rotate. Just notice if you're poking your rib cage out, bring the bottom tips of the rib cage in, belly in towards the spine, lift all the way up, and breathe. Good. Coming all the way back to center, coming back to the Baddha Konasana. Let your knees flutter. Nice deep breath. Good. And then from here, I'm going to let the blocks go off to the side, roll over, come into an extended child. The extended child, arms coming forward. See if you can take your hips back. Again, moderate this, how you feel works in your body. If you don't feel that the bottom part of your lower back has been opened yet, just kind of breathe in. And in the same way that we did the stretch in the beginning of the class, I want you to move your hands over to the left. You're going to take your left hand, and you're going to the left to like 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. Your right hand is stretching. Your left hand is stretching, pushing onto your right hand, and you're taking your right hip down, breathing into the stretch. And always, you're not going to a max here, you're just allowing for more of an opening of the breath through the body. Good. The release and come all the way back to center. And from here, you're going to move to the right. And you're going to take your right hand and just stretch your left hand a little bit more. But balance that with your left hip staying down. So you're getting a deep stretch through the left side. And just allow the breath to move in. Stretch and breathe in. Good. And then release. Come all the way back. Bring your knees in. Come into the table pose. Let the right foot come forward and the left foot back into low Anjali Asana. Good. Now take the top of the left thigh back. You're going to notice when you're blowing out your hip. And even if you're not doing my class, I want you to still hear my words. Stretching your ligaments isn't going to help you as we get older. Now take the top of the left thigh back. You want the stretch to be through the quad. Some may be feeling this in the inner groin or hamstrings, depending on where you are, but let's not overstretch the hip. And then inhale up. And you're going to exhale forward. Just find that stretch. Inhale up, exhale forward. And inhale up. Last time, exhale forward. Left hand onto the floor. You see how my right knee wants to immediately go off? Bring it back in. Rotate. Maybe pin it down even. So then take the top of the right thigh back. Rotate the torso here. Let's add the arm overhead. Breathing in, a nice deep breath. Good. Then release and come all the way down. Let's do a few more. Just coming forward. If your blocks are nearby, take your blocks. Go to the higher side of the blocks. We're going to bring your hips back. And notice how one hip wants to be higher than the other. See if you can get them to be even, not way up here. This is another way of teaching your body to do the Pasarda Padottanasana, the legs straight up. Uttita Hasta. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, I can't remember. Oh my God, I'm blanking out. Never mind. Top of the right thigh back. You're stretching your leg. Heel onto the floor. Lengthen through the spine. Good. Take the rib cage, and you're going to notice it's very easy for the bottom tips of the rib cage to go here. You want the low back curve, but you want the rib cage up to feel the upper part of the back, part of this stretch. Head lengthens. Exhale forward. Just a small. I want it to be integrated. I can go all the way down here. I want to feel the integration of the back of my calf and the strength of my upper back. Good. Top of the thighs back. Just go there. This is the winter practice. We go deep into small things and then release and come all the way back down. Just keep your blocks nearby. Downward dog. Stretch it out. One heel up, one heel down. Nice deep breath. We ask our body to open, to be strong and flexible for our greater good, for our highest expression of ourself in this physical body. And then release, come all the way back to center with the left leg coming forward, this time right leg back with a deep sense of listening. You're going to exhale forward and inhale up. Exhale forward. Just feel the stretch. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Make sure that your knee is padded if it needs to be. Do not be in pain. Exhale forward. Inhale up, and last time, exhale forward, right hand onto the floor. Make sure your knee isn't going out to the side, it's coming back. That's one good and bad thing about Zoom is we have instant feedback, right? Take the rib cage in, extend through the spine, left hip of the arm bone up and back, add the arm overhead, and breathe. Breathe into the stretch. You do the stretch where you're engaging your belly, rotating the rib cage. You're going to have both the strength and the flexibility. Good, the connection of the core. Release, come all the way back down. We're using the blocks to go into an extended Hanumanasana, a half Hanumanasana. Don't let the hips go up, hip back, top of the thigh back. That's what creates the lack of the hip going up. Top of the thigh goes back. And that opens up the lower part of your back as well. Good. Just going to exhale forward. And again, It's the difference between your rib cage just going forward, taking it back, and just allowing your spine to elongate. So this is me overextending my rib cage, taking it back. It's very subtle, stretching forward. And again, I'm not going, I can go all the way down. I can do that by just kind of collapsing. I'm not talking about that. Just stretch slowly the rib cage integrated with the strength of your back. Nice deep breath. Slow work. Deep work. Patient work. To do this with a sense of patience with both yourself and the process. So come back, fingertips down, downward dog. Oops, and get back a little bit. Whoa! Lift the right leg without banging walls. Stack your hips one on top of the other. Bend your right knee like it's hugging a tree. Breathing in. Feeling that energy. Feeling the release. Yeah, let your knee go back behind you. Stack your hips. Use that twist that we just did in the pose with Anjaneyasana. Good. Release and come all the way back. Come back into a table pose, and then either an extended child with knees out. Just kind of roll back before we do the other side. And just breathe. So just find yourself moving your energy through your body, thinking of your body as a community working together. Letting the breath move easily with a nice deep breath. Cleansing breath. Exhaling out what does not serve you right now. And then coming back to the table pose. I'm going to lift up into downward dog. See if I can lift this leg without hitting the wall. You're going to stack your hips one on top of the other. To do that, you've got to make it so that your right shoulder is not collapsing. Stack your hips first. Lengthen through your leg. Don't bend the knee yet. Stretch your leg straight. Keep it straight. Think about concentrating on your hip stacking. Now bend your knee. Let it be an extension of your hips being at its fullest stacking. Good. Then stretch your knee leg back behind you again. Come all the way back into a child's pose, either with the knees together or the knees apart. And taking a nice deep breath. Breathing in, and then come all the way back up into a seated pose, and then bring your legs straight out. You're on your back. I'm going to keep your, I'm going to start with the legs straight out for a moment. Just take your toes sunny side up. See if you can create the low back curve. I want you to put your hands underneath to feel your low back curve. And then into that, keeping your low back curve, and your hand is going to hold it. Take the tips of your rib cage down towards the floor. Now for me to do this, I've got to really engage my belly. It doesn't go naturally for me because, like I said to you, this is my weak point. This is where I break, I collapse. So just experiment with that for a moment and just let that inform you about your standing poses. Now, let's relax that. Bring your knees into your chest, and you're going to let your knees rotate in one direction and then the other. back out and bring them over to your left. Again, you're stacking your hips on one on top of the other. Can you see that? Keep the right head of the arm bone up and back. Nice deep breath. Come all the way back to center. You're going to do that one more time with the knees going off to the right. Breathing in. Come all the way back to center and then over to the left with the right shoulder coming down. Good. Then release that. Come all the way back onto the floor. Let yourself find Shavasana, whether that means putting on your clothes, socks. Finding a place where you can feel the connection between you and the earth. See if the parts of your body that have been opened by this practice can get a little more of that earth energy in. Oops. Then let yourself feel the practice. Where do you feel the practice today in your body? What opened? What feels more connected? What community of your body talked to a side of the community that may not have been talking before? Our goal is wholeness. We do it through little bits of communication and connection, through a series of practices that allow us to explore the human physical condition and emotional condition. It starts with a feeling, a desire, dreamed into being over and over again by those returning to earth, building on the roots of peace, destined to save the planet, drinking from the eternal waters, feeding the tree of life. So allow small movements to come back into the fingers and back into your toes. letting your knees float up into your chest and hugging them in, gently rocking from side to side. Then rolling to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape, grounding your gift onto this planet. And then continue the side roll all the way up to a seated pose. Then bring your hands to prayer position at your heart center. And together, we will say one Om. So take a breath in. Om. May we have peace in our heart. May we have peace in our mind. May we have peace on this planet and healing on this planet. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with me.
I needed that.
Oh God, yes.
It's a bag. Always wonderful.
Yeah, now that was one of my pandemic poems, a recent one, written long before this. This was written on, December 30th. And I give that to each of you because I think we were born back here again at this time. And it's want to drink that eternal water that feeds the tree of life.
Can you do you share them, Rose?
Of course I do, yeah.
That was just really, I would love to read it again.
Oh, thank you. Trish, I'm not sure that I have do I have your email address?
No. How do I get it to you?
Let me